Hello all my beautiful angels, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Shyla, back with another video. Today we have a very special video. We are going to talk about my 2 years of HRT. I'm going to get kind of in depth. I'm going to do my best to talk about my physical changes and my emotional changes, things you should expect. I'm going to try to put up a little slideshow for you. But before we get going, let's take a second, like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell button. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. If you're new here, I post every Monday, every Friday, sometimes Wednesdays. Hitting the bell button will keep you notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to check out my Instagram. I post on my Instagram every day, kind of put stuff in the stories, get to be interactive, we get to be friends, we get to hang out. And as usual, if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you guys all had an amazing weekend. I hope that you are ready for New Year's Eve. I hope you guys have got your resolutions ready. I don't like to call them resolutions. I like to call them goals because I like to make it a bigger goal, like to take me a lot of the year to get to. That way it's more of a challenge. That way it seems like it's a lot harder to quit something that's like a challenge that you're working on all year, as opposed to a resolution. You're just starting from the first day. Because once you've started it, you've already started it. You can just kind of quit it. But if you're working towards a goal, it's something you're shooting towards. It's a lot harder just to quit that goal. It's in your head. You want to push for it to get to it before you quit it. And you don't want to be a quitter, right? Other than that, I cannot believe that it has been 2 years of HRT. I'm going to try to leave some space here because I'm going to post a little video, or a little slideshow if I can get it to work. The first thing I'm going to talk about in this video is I'm going to talk about the physical changes that have happened during the last 2 years while I've been on HRT. I really can't believe that it's been 2 years in HRT. Like I said several times, it's been 2 years. I started the very beginning of January a couple of years ago. I am not going to go into what my doses are because I don't want anyone to get them on to get their pills online and self-medicate and think that what I use is what you should use. I definitely recommend, when you're messing around with hormones and your body, you definitely need to do it the right way and see a doctor, see an endocrinologist. I know that it can be a pain. I know that it's a thing. You know, every state is different. When I went to start, all I had to do was see my family doctor, and she recommended an endocrinologist, but it was like an 8-month wait to see the endocrinologist before I could even start on hormones. So I get it. And it seems like it takes forever. And if you're like me, you're watching a whole ton of videos about it from other people that are doing it, and you're just like, I want to start my hormones now. Trust me, do it the right way. See the doctor, take your time, let him get him tests in, let him raise your levels the proper way that's safe for you and safe for your body. Okay, so let's start talking about the physical changes. Obviously, the thing that everyone wants to know about is boobs. I am not going to talk about boobs too much because I have an entire video that I did dedicated to boobs from, you know, while you're on hormones, your surgeries, etc., etc. So I'm not going to talk about them a whole lot. If you want to know more about the changes to your boobs and are interested in that, go ahead and check out my HRT video, which I'll link below. Not my HRT video, one of my trans topics with Shyla, about my 1 year since my breast augmentation. I'll link that below if you want to talk about it. But I am going to talk about other aspects. One of the things I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about skin. Everyone says that your skin gets softer, which is definitely true. Your skin texture will change, and you might not notice that it's softer, but you will notice, and this is what I've noticed, that it definitely gets thinner because I get cold so easy now. I never used to get cold. I realized I lost weight, so I don't have as much padding anymore, but I get cold so much easier now, where I used to be able to sit in the air conditioning when, you know, back in my office and keep the air conditioner like 63 degrees. And now it's like, I need to keep it like 68 or 69, even in my house, or 70. Otherwise I get cold, except for at night while I'm sleeping. And it seems like it gets really hot in my room, but I really think that's the demon fucking with me. So we won't get into that. So your skin is most definitely going to change. Your hair texture is going to change. And I will say, if you watched any of my other videos, you will notice that while you're doing hormones, I noticed big changes in all of my physical attributes as they increased each one of my hormones, each one of the amount that I was taking of my hormones. I had 2 different dosage increases, and each time they increased it, I would get I would notice a lot of changes would happen. And one of those changes is the way my hair grew. And obviously the way your hair is going to grow depends on your genetics. Everybody's going to be different. I was lucky enough to have my Latina genes, so my hair got thicker and it got long really fast, and it also does help what you're putting in your hair too. So make sure you take care of your hair and put good stuff in it, and try not to get all crazy with the dyes on it. Try not to bleach it all crazy. I know that I do like a lightening shampoo in the summertime when I'm lightening it, so I am doing a little bleach on it, but I'm not getting crazy with it. I'm not trying to damage it all the time. Definitely try and take care of your hair, especially while it's growing. And I promise you, you are going to go through the awkward stages. If you want to do wigs, if you want to do, you know, if you want to do extensions, you do what you got to do. Or you could just rock that awkward stage. Like if I got this slideshow going, you'll see all the awkward stages that my hair went through while I was doing this. You'll notice changes to the way your fat redistributes and your facial structure. You'll get more hips. I was fortunate enough to already have a whole lot of hips, so I didn't notice it as much, but I do know that other girls that, you know, that's a trait for girls to have, is to have, you know, more cushiony hips, wider hips, and more padding down in your butt region. And your fat will redistribute, and you will definitely start to get more fat in your butt area. Which will make you happy if you were one of those girls that started out and didn't have much of a butt. I will say physically, you will notice a difference in your muscle definition, your muscle tone, especially in your upper body. I have lost so much upper body strength. And I will say, in terms of working out, if you like working out and you like fitness like I do, you don't have to worry about it being counterproductive to wanting to look feminine with your workouts, because as you get rid of the testosterone in your body, you will notice that you won't be able to build muscle, big bulky muscle like boys do, because you don't have all that testosterone in your body. You'll build muscle more like girls do because you don't have as much testosterone and you're mostly estrogen in your body. So for all intents and purposes, your hormones are girls' hormones. So you'll gain muscle in a different way. Like I said, I lost a lot of muscle in my upper body, but I still have a lot of muscle in my lower body. Obviously not as much as I used to, but it's a lot easier. You know, you could still build it, you could still get toned, but it's not going to get big and bulky. Now, along that note, you will also, if you have weight to lose, I definitely recommend starting to lose that weight before you get on your hormones, because trust me, girl or boy, depends on what you're doing. I guess just for girls, because boys are going to be different. But trust me, girls, you are going to want to lose weight, because as soon as you get rid of that evil testosterone in your body, it is going to be so much harder to lose weight. I promise you, I assure you, it is a pain in the ass to lose weight now. Trans men don't have that problem because they're adding testosterone. It's going to be easier for them to lose weight. I just thought of that in my head. That's why I changed it. As far as, physical, you could see in the timeline, the longer you're on it, the softer your features are going to get, the more feminine you're going to look. Obviously, the younger you start, the better off you're going to be, and not the better off you're going to be, but the more you're going to see the changes, especially if you can manage to start before testosterone has really changed, that made its changes on your body. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't not transition, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't transition just because you're older, because you are never too old to live your best life and to live how you want to live. So if you are older like me, like I said, I didn't start until I was 40. If you are older, don't hesitate to transition if you can. Now I'm going to talk about the emotional changes. Emotional has been a roller coaster, and I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on the hormones now. I can't even imagine going through high school with these hormones, and now I get why girls would get so emotional in high school, and get even so emotional now, but especially in high school, because learning to deal with your hormones when they start raging with your estrogen is completely, it's tough. Every time they increased my dosage on my hormones and my estrogen and decreased my testosterone, I would get some major mood swings. And I still kind of get moody like every month. I don't, obviously, we don't have you know, we don't have girl parts down there. So, I mean, even if you've had surgery, you don't have the inside girl parts. So we don't have, you know, we don't have Satan's waterfall or that time of the month, but I still get the moodiness, I feel like occasionally, like once a month or once every couple of months. And I swear that I get them around the same time. Some of my friends, it's like, whatever. Like I get moody with them. Anyway, and it can be hard to deal with, and don't hesitate to talk to somebody if you're having problems dealing with them or you need someone to vent to, because I tell you what, it can be hard learning to deal with the emotions of it. And along that, you will want, like I've said in other videos, you'll want to get friends that are girls, and just to have more stuff in common with them if you didn't have a lot of friends that are girls, and that can lead you down a whole different paths. And I've done videos on that about friends and whatnot. But I will say, one thing I will say, and I've noticed this the farther I've gotten, in the beginning, when I was more self-conscious about the way I look and the way I look physically and, you know, where I was at my transition, I would never go out of the house without makeup on, because I would feel so insecure and my anxiety would be through the roof and my dysphoria would be through the roof. And now, I mean, there's several days when I go out without my makeup on, and I hope nobody's clocking me. Maybe they are, but honestly, I don't really fucking care if they are. It used to be something that was so in my head, and now it's really not. And I really think a lot of that is because my hair got really long, and especially after I had my breast augmentation, my confidence level spiked so much that it doesn't really affect me that much anymore, because, you know, I don't think that I look all that bad, but I mean, if I do, I don't really care. I'm just going to rock it and go with it. And you'll notice that too, the farther you get into your transition, the more confident that you will be. And, you know, I've never done one of these videos for these HRT updates. I'm trying to think of like the things that I've gone through, but it's been a long time because I didn't do like an update, which is why I'm hoping the little slideshow is working, because it'll be much easier for you to see each one of the updates and how I've changed throughout the time than me just talking about it. Other than that, I don't really know what else to talk about. If you have any questions about my update, about my 2 years, about, you know, what kind of changes you can expect, especially if you're transgender, feel free to message me down below or DM me on Instagram, and I will do my best to answer them. And probably won't get a whole lot more of these because my surgery will be in about a month from when this posts, and I won't have to take the testosterone blockers anymore. I'll just be taking estrogen. So it's, you know, I'll still be on my hormones for estrogen, but the farther you get along, the less changes you notice. I will say that. You will notice more changes in the beginning with each time that it ramps up, but the farther you get into it, the less changes you're going to see, especially like in obviously your boobs and, you know, fat. Once the fat redistributes, you will start seeing a lot of changes. Other than that, I hope that you guys all have an amazing week, and we'll be back on Friday with another video. I love you all.